What's going on, guys? It is Dan, the Chart Man. That's my brand new name for my brand new YouTube channel. It is August 27th, and we are going to look at this Bitcoin price. For those of you who do not know me, I am an East Coast boy who now lives in the Midwest. I live in Texas, and I've been essentially a fan of cryptocurrency for a couple years now. I'll tell you where I started, where I am today. When I started in crypto, I got in about here or here. Can't remember, but if you see when I got in, I had missed all of this pump, and I thought that price was just going to keep on going. We heard about inflation. We heard about the dying dollar. Bitcoin is going to go to potentially up to 100K, 200K, even some people said up to $1 million. And, hearing this, I kind of went all in, and look what happened. Topped out and boom. I was devastated right here. All my friends were freaking out because we were new into crypto. And then we ended up settling, forming a nice price exhaustion, and price ended up coming up for another uptrend and another big pump here. And then we fell, and then we rolled over even some more. And then we sat on top of a former high right about here, 20K. And then we formed some nice price exhaustion and again made a nice uptrend. And now here we are today. This is a value area low, a point basically this is an indicator that I use to show some sort of support or resistance. This part where the color goes from coloration to non-coloration, it's called the value area low. Typically there is a point of significance here, and right here you can clearly see the price kind of holds from this value area low. It kind of respects this area and dumps, and right here you kind of see we made an attempt at passing this value area low at 30K, and we fell. We came up again, we made a higher high. Now we're doing what's called a swing failure, where we couldn't really hold this higher high and we fell. Now we're at about 25K, and here is where we'll begin the discussion. Featuring here these green lines, these are called spider lines. I highly recommend you guys incorporate this into your trading, no matter if you are an expert or a beginner. This is horizontal support and resistance that I find holds true if you simply look at where price is at respected to these lines. In recent trend, we came up to that value area low at 30K. We hit these two spider lines. We respected the price, and over time we came down. And then we came down to these spider lines. We respected the price and pumped up. Same thing. We hit these diagonal supports and resistances, and right now we are back at this spider line. Forgive all this stuff going on here. You'll be able to see this in the smaller time frame. But if you can see these diagonal lines running across, we are at what I would consider the spider line support. If you were to create a range, you could create a low from this June 19th low, pin it, and then you can see where price kind of came up and reacted. This is called an automatic reaction when we form a what's called a selling climax. Boom. And then we react, we basically retrace, and then we pin that peak of the retracement. And at this point, we now have a range to refer to. Price comes down. We come out of the range. We form a double bottom and we exit the range. How wonderful would that be to see that action in real time and ask yourself, hey, we are at spider line support. What if we come up and do what we just did here? Those are the questions that you ask yourself when price gets down here, respected to your boxes that you create right here. Okay, this is really powerful here, guys, especially in the high time frames. Regardless, we come to the top of the box, we come down, then we come up, and this is I forget what this. Well, I guess you could say there was some support right here, but then we pumped off of this spider line, and we come up here to the value area low of 30K. We fall down. Price falls for a time of 60. Give me that. Come on. I can't seem to get my little measurement tool. Okay, I can't seem to pick up my measurement tool over here because then it'll pause my video. So that's a work in progress. But regardless, I remember calculating this is about a 60-day declination in price, where price falls for 60 days. That price exhaustion ended up occurring, and then we ended up pumping to make a higher high, but again, we failed right around this 30K value area low that we picked out right here. It's been a relevant area. Now we are at 25, and I'll show you what's going on at 25. Remember what I said about this range stop. It's kind of cool. We're right about there. So if you see, I'll go on the smaller time frame. Let me get rid of some of this boxes here, or brushes over there. But essentially, we come down to 20, and now what we're looking at is we're looking like we are just kind of building up some sort of area right here where prices. We'll call this a selling climax, and I'll get rid of let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this here. Okay, what that was basically a visualization of basically price action. Has a point of control, value area low, and a value area high. I briefly spoke on the value area low aspect of it, but regardless, we have what's called it's called the selling climax here, and essentially, come on, price ends up making a massive sell candle. Boom. The selling peaks or climaxes, and so we go ahead and we can pin that, and then we retrace, or an automatic reaction is what it's called. And once we kind of peak from that automatic reaction, we pin that spot, and now we have a wonderful range to respect price to refer to price to. Meaning, once we create these boxes, it gives us a lot of comfortability of where price goes. Because right now we know that we are inside a trading range, and we know that consolidation like these happen more than the time in consolidation is way more than the time in this dump action. There's much more certainty as to what price is doing in these boxes. Allows you to trading up more trading opportunities than to try to guess and trade during this volatile period. So if you guys are going to trade, I would respectfully ask you guys to try to create these ranges and try to start trading off of these ranges. A low, a high, selling climax, automatic reaction. Now what's going on? Boom, price comes down. Okay, price comes down. We can just try to think of a Fibonacci. Price kind of comes below the gold pocket here, but then we're kind of settling. Um, but if this first, pump right here is not tradable, then you can kind of just see where price is going here. And look, you kind of see, um, as we're developing here, like we have some highs and we have some lows. So at some point, the market is probably the big fish here in the market are probably going to try to grab some lows. They're going to try to grab these lows where people put stop losses below them. They're trying to grab liquidity or a variable, basically trading volume, and they're just like here. Look, we form some lows, and then the price kind of falls and grabs the liquidity here. So now lows were grabbed, and now we come up, and we come up here, and we grab these highs, grab some liquidity up here, and we don't quite hit this golden pocket, which I drew from way up here, from this peak, this selling or this buying peak, and this, I guess you could say, the swing high to swing low. Doesn't quite hit that golden pocket, but we do come in our box here, which encompasses a value area low from back here in March. Back here in March, that 26.6. So going back into the closer, more recent time frame or price action, this kind of comes. This 26.6 is the bottom of this box here, and then the top encompasses the golden pocket, which is the 0.65 and 0.618 Fibonacci sequence. So regardless, we come up into this box and we fall. Then we come up a little bit. I remember I tried to trade this golden pocket, but it didn't quite hit my level, and then we fell. When we come down here, we can kind of say, okay, well, what happened? So price comes down here, grabs some lows. Price comes up here, grabs some highs. We're grabbing the liquidity down here, the liquidity coming up here, and then we're saying to ourselves, okay, well, we're kind of, we are at the top of the range. Are we gonna fall potentially above the range, or are we going to fall back down? We end up falling back down to our point of control here, which is grabbed by this little tool, fixed range volume profile. And this line here is called the point of control. Anytime you see the discoloration going to the coloration at the top, it's called the value area high. Likewise, when you come down here where the coloration becomes the non-coloration, that's the value area low. So regardless, I did not mean to draw that. Basically we're respecting this point of control all the way down to the value area low. Price is just kind of down here. We come up, and I think I actually might have missed another golden pocket here. That's kind of tough. I marked the box here as the local golden pocket and the spider line, which is this horizontal support and the resistance line. We come close to it, we fall down, and now price is still kind of hovering about this point of control. And now we're kind of thinking to ourselves, all right, what's next? Okay, so now we're going to try to create some ideas together here. I got some other boxes that I'd like to get rid of that don't really matter right now, and kind of just makes it convoluted. We're just going to get rid of a lot of stuff. Oops, don't want that to be gone. What was that I got rid of? I don't know. Whoops. We're going to keep this as a little local range. Some of these lines, guys, are a little smaller ranges. This is showing purple, but that's because it's over a Fibonacci. I guess it's because I have a little orange line over a blue line. Is orange plus blue equal purple? I guess so. Alright, anyways, we're trying to clean this up so you guys can kind of see some of this. So let's go ahead and we're going to create this little, I'm going to show you guys this like local, I got to get rid of this. This is our range. This ends up being, when we kind of fall here, so like I said, we grabbed some lows, grabbed some highs. When we fell, you know, we actually, I decided to make a little bit of a smaller box. And you can see, hey, we have our, it's just about cleaned up. Okay, I'll get rid of this smaller. Okay, so as I was saying, okay, this should be a lot cleaner. So I don't know, this is showing purple, but this is really an orange line. Locally, we came and we had a selling climax and we had an automatic retracement. So I kind of marked the selling climax right here, the automatic retracement. You can kind of see a little bit closer. Price kind of peak sells here, and then we kind of come up. And then what happens? We kind of come up above the range. We can't hold the top of the range. Then we come to the middle of the range. Then we come back up to the top of the range, make a higher high, but we still can't hold this range. And now we come to the bottom of the range. Remember, the bottom of the range is right here. And then we come up, and then we're kind of teetering. And now we are at the top of the range. So we're kind of asking ourselves, what will price do locally here? Price going to touch that 25K range top, remember? Remember here? Right there, basically 25.2. So we touched it before, we pumped up to the, you know, swing failure up here at 32. Now we're back here. Remember this line here. Guys, I know there's a lot of lines, but they're very helpful for me. And it seemed convoluted at the start, but when you piece these all together, it does look like a lot, but regardless, we're kind of asking ourselves, hey, we came to 25.2. We developed our range bottom and our range to up. Now you're asking ourselves, well, what's going to happen? Are we going to, you know, are we going to finally kind of pump off of this point of control here and come up towards the top of this? Well, we are at the top of this very, very local range, but can we potentially come up one more time to the top of the range, kind of like we did here? Or are we going to find some resistance somewhere, whether it's here or it's up there? I'm going to get rid of this because I didn't explain what that is. We can probably get rid of this for now. We'll do this together. But, you know, and I'm going to get rid of these so you guys can understand what these are. What these blue lines are, they're basically like areas that price can come up above. Like, for example, this is like a little peak. This is like just like a little wick, kind of like this. Price comes above it and we can't hold it, and then we fall. So you can actually trade these. Jason Casper, he has a channel on YouTube. He calls these chicken drinking water, CDWs. And I don't know why he calls it that, I forget. But he works on a farm, so I think he has some sort of terminology related to his farm life. That's why he calls it CDW. But regardless, we come above this wick, and then we actually close below this wick, and we fall. You can actually trade these. But regardless, right now, so that's where these blue lines come from. So I could, in theory, mark a blue line right here, and I will. Boom. And I call them CDWs because I don't know any better, but to call them that because of me watching Jason Casper. This gives me a trading area. If we come up and we close below it, we can see the right things to kind of see if we can trade that short. But right now, we're at the top of this little local range. Our questions are, hey, are we going to come to the top of the range here at 27? and potentially further. Like I said, the top of the range is 27. Could we come up here to I guess you could say local swing high from August 14th down to the low here at August 17th? If we take that, so our question is, hey, can we come up here to 28? I have a notification, and I have a box formed. Point of control right there. Boom. I don't know why this is up here, but so this is that's right. Okay, that's about right. All right, so that's the box. Low. I'm sorry, notification, and this encompasses the golden pocket, and it also encompasses a point of control from back there in March. So our questions are, hey, are we going to come up to the top of our range and potentially further up here to some resistance? Are we going to come up a little bit further to this local resistance up here where we had some sort of consolidation? And also this is a big area. This is a big area that I noted. This is actually, see this right here? This is a big range beginning in February 2021, ending in April 2022. So over a year. This is the value area low right here. It's around 29-ish. 29 is that value area low. That is a big resistance. Look, price kind of comes off. Price respects this area. And obviously, we can locally see, look at this. So look, that's 29. And obviously, look, we have a swing failure about this area right here. Look, we fall one time from this 29, and we make a higher high, and we still can't hold it. And then we make this nice big weekly candle. Boom. We kind of fall. Boom. So that would be an area of resistance if we come up to a 29 that I think is pretty relevant in the short term. So then we ask ourselves, hey, if price comes above our little micro range here, could we come up to this 27, 9-ish, or even up to 29? Like I just pointed out, this big area right here. So that's what I'm looking for in the shorter term. Hey, can we kind of pump off of these spider line supports here at 25, pump off this range top at 25 and head towards 27.8 and to 29? Or are we simply going to spend more time about this range, and could we potentially, could we fall from here? Could we leave this range but then get supported and come back up towards the top of the range, meaning like this? Could we fall here at some local support or local resistance? Could we fall, and then could we get bought back up over the range, and could we head towards the top of this local range? Or can we come up, maybe come above the range and not be able to hold? Personally, I think that if we were to get some relief, I'd like to have, this could be some nice bottoming here, some nice bottoming in which we could do something like this, or we could certainly, lose this range and then potentially come back up, retouch the top of the range, and then come up for some more. I could see that. But right now we should be looking for some trades, and what we'll do is we're going to analyze where we could find some support and resistance, and we're going to try to create our boxes and only abide by the boxes that we trust price will have a reaction at. So this right here, we already kind of mentioned this is a value area low from over in March. Could we come up to this value area low again? I'm going to get rid of some of these so I can make sure everything is clear. Get rid of this too. Get rid of this. Alright, so right now I told you this is, if we kind of come up here, close below that wick, that's a trade. But let's just go ahead and we're going to start with some resistance locally. Well, we'll start up here. We already know where we'd like to get up to up here, beginning with 29 and down here with 27.9, 28. But we could also say, hey, resistance could be us closing, coming up above this wick and closing below it. Right here, this is the CDW that I was talking about. Again here, this is the CDW. Okay, we obviously have this box encompassing this golden pocket and the value area low from March. And we also know that here, right here, this value area low, look, price actually fell. Obviously right here, this value area low, price fell. Came up, kind of wanted to come up to this line, and we couldn't hold. We didn't have enough power, and we fell. So this might have relevance here. If this is a value area low from before, and we had some local resistance, a couple times, maybe price can come up here and fall. Okay, let's see if we can match a Fibonacci from this swing high, boom, all the way to the swing low of the range. Now okay, so that's the swing low right down there. And then what we can actually say is, hey, maybe we have some more local resistance here. See how we have this point of control, this little small range? We're going to create a box, boom. We're going to call this a golden pocket / value area. Well, actually, we'll call it, we're going to use the date. So August 23, point of control. Again, that point of control is that red line. If we come up, we could come up here and face some resistance at this golden pocket and point of control. We come up above this, we could hit this CDW, in which we come over it and we close below it, and we can trade this down. Or if we come above this, come up here, close below it, and boom. So we're basically thinking, hey, relative to the top of the range, below us we could face some resistance by closing below this wick. We could come anywhere into this box and face resistance. We could come to this box, which has a golden pocket and a point of control. I need to make a little notification. We're going to call this August 23rd point of control / golden pocket. Boom, so we got a notification. And then if we come up here, we could close below this wick, come up and close below the wick. That could be a trade right there. This was an area where I noted some relevant support and resistance. Call it daily support. But regardless, we got basically 1 relevant point, 2 relevant point, 3 relevant point, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're giving us some options as to where we'd like price to go. So obviously, I would like to see if if we come in this box, or we come in anywhere in the side of this box to face resistance below us. Well, we could have a CDW if we come all the way down to the bottom of this range, and we come down, and then we close above it. Same thing, if we did the same thing at this wick, we could do it this wick, and I need a notification. CDW. And then we'll just try to find one more local area. Remember, this is a swing low to a swing high from the bottom to the top of the range. This is a golden pocket. I'm going to extend this over here just so we can line it up with any box that we create. Boom. See how this is kind of more further over because we kind of extended it over. And we're going to say, hey, well, we do have a value area low here. Boom. We do have a golden pocket here. Boom. Let's create a little box here encompassing the value area low right here in the golden pocket. We're going to call this, where's this? August 18th. All right, August 18th value area low / golden pocket. We're going to control A that, control copy, and we're just going to title our box. Boom. So if price comes down, we could come down, boom, notification, golden pocket, value area low. That would be an area also we have this spider line too. Or we can come down below the CDW here, the CDW play, CDW play, CDW play. If we lose this range, I do think that 22.6 could be the next level, which is the next spider line. And then below that would be potentially 17. But we got to take it level to level, guys. Price takes a long time. Look, August 17th, this is 10 days, and we really haven't moved much. This is all consolidation. So price kind of moves slower than you think. But that's it, guys. We're going to see what happens. I am going to just quickly look at something to see if we can actually get a local trade here. Obviously, this was a local area where I'm going to take this off. Look, we had some support. We kind of fell from here, fell from here, fell from here, fell from here, fell right here. So I'm thinking this is definitely resistance. And we could say, hey, we have a little swing high, to a swing low. We're kind of about the golden pocket, about this level here. We'll see what happens. Looks like we're holding decently strong. But that's that, guys. We're just going to hang out here. I don't really have any other trades. The only other thing that we'll look at is going to be no, that's all we're going to look at, guys. I think that's it. Okay, guys, my name is Dan the Chart Man. It has been a pleasure. If you guys have any pertinent questions related to the spider lines or any technical analysis that I did, again, I'm just looking to post my daily chart analysis every day. I hope that somebody uses this to the better, to be able to have a systematic approach of looking at these ranges in the form of a low and a high, to really allow you to see where price is and be more comfortable as to where price is. Price spends more time in these consolidation boxes. You don't need to freak out if you know where price is relative to the boxes that you're in. I hope this helps. If anybody has any questions, please leave in the comment section. If anybody found value that can help them trade with a better head on their shoulders, please give me a like. Please give me a subscribe. Dan the Chart Man out. Thank you very much, everybody. Take care.